Wonderful. I am quite tempted to, therefore, some of the common errors, although you use the word in your book, unhelpful examples. If you will allow me to read a few and maybe you can elaborate on them, just to build on this of really being in sync with the client. And that's the other beautiful thing which your various programs sensitize us as a coach to. Everything which is being offered by the client, how do you really not attend to everything instead of leaving it unattended? In service of just ticking the boxes of competencies, which of course we'll come to and they have their place. So do you think this is a good time then to build on that? Some of the
Yes, absolutely.
misconceptions.
Please go ahead. Yeah.
I'm reading from the book, and there are unhelpful examples for each domain. So I will start with the narrative inquiry. The coach is saying, I love how beautifully you've articulated these two concepts, appreciate your understanding of what triggers the anxiety in the chaos. When you talk about the flow, what are the things about that aspect of yourself that really make you proud?
Yeah.
Yeah. And it's such a predictable question. And I was like, okay, so what is the conceptual misuse here? And I was just blown away because here you're saying you are directing the client, you are steering them toward a preferred emotional outcome. You're responding from the coach's model of the world. You're imposing a reframe. I was breathless by this time. I was like, so much packed into that so called appropriate question. Anything you want to say?
Well, I want to explain to the audience unhelpful examples came out of years of being an assessor, coach assessor for all three levels around the world. And that's why I've written my book to teach not only coaches, but the mentors and evaluators to understand what the coach's response do mechanically to the client. Here, just even one word, proud, directs the client to the emotion pride. We need to be indifferent as a coach. The main curiosity about the narrative would say, when you state your story like that, what is the emotion do you get to experience? I don't have any preference. I'm inviting them to feel and figure out. Here,
Sure.
the coach's response looks very skillful, but it's directive.
Yeah, yeah. I'm going to read one more example. I think I will pick up the example you've given for foundational blueprint inquiry, where the coach is saying, I can see that cooking is a big part of your cultural heritage and is getting in the way of your weight loss. Yeah. How can you abandon this part of your culture to stay true to your goals? Even as I read this, I became the client, and it was that either or black and white which the coach was throwing at me really made me feel very helpless and confused. I just became the client in that moment, and I was like, oops, what do I say now? What do I have to make a choice here? And I was like, I'm so not ready to let go.
Yes. And with that one question, what is coach doing? This is what I intended to teach the mentors and assessors again, besides the coaches.
Mm.
Coach is unintentionally telling the client, as you said it, either or, these your so beloved cultural food values cannot exist with what you want. That's what the coach is saying. You have to choose one of those things. That's very limiting and not freeing the free will, and confining the client into a structure that belongs to the coach, because coach's model of the world doesn't process the possibilities.
I like the way you say, and I mean, you've given many conceptual misuses, but the last one says collapsing cultural identity into a problem to solve.